Story 1. Insurance fraud in Vernon, Florida. For loss of limbs is a serious issue. The Florida Panhandle accounted for 2/3 of all loss of limb accident claims in the United States, largely due to Vernon. This town was the site of a widespread insurance scam where residents would intentionally dismember themselves for a payout. The problem was so extensive that the town became known as Nub City. However, it was nearly impossible to convict scammers of fraud because jurors found it difficult to believe that people would willingly amputate their own limbs. Story 2. Polygraphs have been proven to be little better than random guessing, yet people still believe in them. Story 3. Multi-level marketing schemes often parade as incredible business opportunities. They are like matryoshka dolls, where every level opens up to reveal another opportunity to spend your money and encourage friends to join. Story 4. This issue has been occurring for decades, and I still encounter people who get involved with who's who directories. These directories target professors, aspiring authors, designers, and various professionals who may want to have their names in print. These companies randomly contact individuals, claiming they have been recognized as important figures in their fields and offering to write a short biography or article about them. Sometimes they even schedule an interview up front, emphasizing the person's significance. The catch is that they want you to pay for the privilege of being included in their directory or publication. They are clever in their approach to making you pay, offering a copy of the book featuring you, a commemorative plaque to honor your recognition, or an upgraded listing in their online directory. While they technically provide something in return for your money, the whole scenario resembles a scam. Even organizations like ARP warn against getting involved with these directories. Story 5. Crowdfunding campaigns can be scams, even though many people trust them as legitimate ways to support innovation or help those in need. Some creators misuse funds or never deliver promised products or results, exploiting goodwill and the difficulty of accountability on online platforms. Story 6. Gift cards allow you to exchange currency that is usable worldwide for currency that is only valid at specific locations. Many people do not use gift cards, and the retailers that sell them factor this into their profits. I would prefer cash, please, even if it comes wrapped with a fancy bow. Story 7. In America, people understand that you cannot trust large companies or the government. They are necessary to have, but you should never put your faith in them unless you have to. The larger the organization, the more it attracts dangerous individuals. However, we have a significant blind spot when applying that cultural understanding to large charities or religious groups. They provide the same opportunities for bad actors, and these dangerous individuals will find their way into positions of power within them. Story 8. Anyone who claims that there is a quick and simple solution to your problem is not being truthful to obtain your money. This includes products for male enhancement, learn C++ in just 10 hours, courses, much of the cosmetics industry, and any politician who promises to entirely eliminate hunger, poverty, and crime. Story 9. Any enrollment fee to join is merely a tactic. I work at a place with memberships, and the $100 enrollment fee is used as leverage. Oh, the enrollment fee is stopping you? What if I waive that today for you? If you join today, I can even waive this fee just for you. If you pay the enrollment fee, part of it goes to commission, but most of it goes into the owner's pocket. Always say that the enrollment fee is stopping you. Always. Story 10. Phenylephrine is a drug commonly used to treat cold symptoms when taken orally and is labeled as a decongestant. If you have a cold medication like Dayquil at home, the label likely includes phenylephrine as an active ingredient. However, it has been shown that phenylephrine performs no better than a placebo in multiple medical trials. It can be frustrating that something sold as over-the-counter medicine is no better than taking nothing at all. Story 11. Retail sales pricing is a psychological strategy to encourage increased purchasing, rather than a special favor from the retailer. If you were not already planning to buy an item, paying for it, even at a sale price, means you are overspending. The entire culture of using coupons and seeking deals often appears to be a way to save money by finding the lowest possible prices. However, in reality, you may end up wasting significant amounts of money on unnecessary items that are marketed as great deals. By concentrating on the utility of your purchases and the actual value you derive from items, you will be in a better financial position than if you simply focus on the cheapest price tags. Story 12. Health insurance in the United States is excessively expensive, and the multi-million-dollar insurance industry takes a significant portion of the bills they claim to save. We still end up paying. It feels like a subscription without a service that pressures citizens to keep paying them or to cover inflated charges. Additionally, tying health insurance to employers is perplexing. In other countries, health insurance typically covers hospitalization and major accident recovery. Otherwise, healthcare is affordable and reasonable. Story 13. When the cryptocurrency boom occurred alongside COVID-19, I purchased a small amount of cryptocurrency. At the same time, a colleague explained that they bought some through a broker and doubled their investment. Then they gave the broker more money and doubled it again. My response was that it sounded like a scam, and I explained why, but they did not believe me. They even involved their brother. Not long after, it turned out to be a scam. She lost around £15,000, which is not a small amount. I just wish I had convinced her. Story 14. Buying a gym membership and convincing yourself that you will go every day is the ultimate exercise in self-deception. Story 15. Looking at these comments, it seems that every aspect of life in America has been exploited by corporations to take advantage of its population for merely existing. Story 16. Store credit cards make most people spend 5 times more at that store than they otherwise might due to sunk cost and use it or lose it fallacies. Essentially, it allows a store to embed a burden in your wallet, not to mention the interest costs. Story 17. Organized religion. If you are paying someone 10% of your salary and their daily driver is a supercar or they have a private jet, you have been scammed. Story 18. Life coaches are often middle-class women in their 40s who have never faced real struggles. They leave their jobs and assume the title without any formal training, then charge vulnerable people up to £3,000 for a transformation package. I strongly advise against engaging with them. I have dated a few, and they were among the most immature, avoidant, and toxic individuals I have encountered. If they have not received proper training, they should not charge for their services, and you should not take their advice. One of them once told me to quit my job immediately, without having another one lined up, during the lockdown in London. It was an unreasonable suggestion from a former lawyer. Story 19. Anything that claims you could get ripped in months. I'll show you how. Just pay X dollars is immediately a scam. Any mainstream health or workout program seems suspicious to me. Story 20. Post-secondary education. More specifically, there are many private colleges that have essentially become diploma mills for international students hoping to come to Canada, as they can charge exorbitant fees. There is one in my area, and their technical programs are good and accredited in their fields. However, they have begun to issue numerous certificates and diplomas that are of questionable quality. Story 21. Healthcare, specifically large corporate networks driven by profit with little to no actual consideration for humanity. Story 22. Anything with the name Trump on it, such as Trump Bibles, shoes, steak, and university, is a scam, and people willingly give him money. Story 23. Extended warranties are a significant source of profit for companies like Best Buy, which earns 85% of their profits from these warranties. If they truly saved you money, salespeople would not promote them so aggressively. Story 24. Plastic recycling is ineffective, with most plastic ending up in landfills. It appears to be a tactic used by plastic companies to continue harming our planet. Story 25. Snack companies generate income from fundraisers. A father in my office asked us to support his child by participating in a fundraiser that promised to donate half of the product's price to the sports team. I purchased 3 bags of snacks for $34, so I assume $17 goes to the organization. I was also charged $7.95 for shipping and handling. I paid $41.95 for 3 bags of snacks that I could have bought for roughly $12 at a grocery store, if I had even chosen those snacks. The company receives $24.95 for products that likely cost them only a few dollars to produce. This is all facilitated through a free youth sales force consisting of young athletes. Story 26. Social media influencers who lack real-life experience and credibility still attract viewers and generate revenue. One of my old car salesman sayings, "There's a buyer for every product." Story 27. Death. The funeral industry's main source of income comes from people who purchase expensive caskets, urns, burial plots, and other services. Do not fall into the trap of thinking, "We need to get the fancy one because we loved our dearly departed so much." It is just a box that will be buried in the ground a few days after purchase, after which no one will ever see it again. The same goes for cremated remains. The urn may remind you of your loved one, but do you really want or need the extra embellishments? Also, consider pre-need planning. Story 28. Expiration dates. Items such as cereal and canned food remain fresh much longer than indicated on the packaging. A documentary series on Netflix discussed how companies intentionally mislead consumers into believing food spoils quickly, encouraging more frequent purchases. If people understood that packaged food lasts longer than stated, these companies could lose millions of dollars. Story 29. Donations made by rounding up at self-checkout in some stores can indeed be charitable, but corporations often use these contributions as tax deductions. It may be more beneficial to make your own donations and take advantage of the tax benefits for yourself. Story 30. Weed can negatively affect you if you smoke it or consume edibles every day. It is best to avoid it. Smoking is harmful to your health. I damaged my lungs by smoking pipes and concentrated forms of cannabis. Save your money. Story 31. Kenneth Copeland is a scam artist and an all-around creepy individual. It will eventually come out that he is actually a predatory figure. He tells vulnerable individuals, including the elderly, to send in their last $5, promising they will receive 10 times that amount in return due to tithing. In reality, he simply uses the money to purchase luxury items. Story 32. Presidential primaries take place in which private parties select their candidates. The primaries are significant events. Story 33. Religion is a method of controlling the masses by instilling fear that if individuals behave in ways not approved by the religion, they will suffer eternally after death. Story 34. eHarmony. I tried it once over 10 years ago. I signed up for a 3-month subscription. It only found matches in other countries or thousands of miles away, so I canceled the subscription when the reduced 3-month rate ended. It was automatically set to autopay, so I had to physically locate it and change it, which they made very difficult. In a moment of foresight, I took screenshots of the cancellation and the deletion of my account. Then I forgot about it while working about 70 hours per week. Unfortunately, I didn't notice they had continued to charge me for 6 months at $30 per month. So I started trying to contact them. I don't remember exactly how long it took, but they didn't respond to my email for weeks, and that was the only way to reach customer service. Then, they had the audacity to claim they do not offer refunds for services rendered. I reiterated that I had not used their services and challenged them to provide any evidence supporting their claim that I had used their service or visited their website. I included the screenshots of the subscription cancellation and the account cancellation with dates and times. They took weeks to respond to that and again refused to refund my money. I demanded to speak to someone in customer service directly over the phone. No reply. I emailed again, including my report to the Better Business Bureau that contained our emails and my screenshots. They replied within a couple of days stating they would refund 3 months of my money, which was something they claimed never to do under any circumstances. By the way, their Better Business Bureau rating was absolutely horrendous. I'm not sure if it's still the same, but you could see other people's complaints too, and there were thousands. They are worse than a pyramid scheme. They literally steal from you after you cancel a subscription by ignoring you. The last I heard, they were acquired by some other large online dating companies. Story 35. Clairvoyance, palm reading, tarot cards, crystal healing, Reiki, acupuncture, homeopathy, and chiropractic are practices that some people understand. However, chiropractic is widely accepted. It is recommended to see a physiotherapist. Story 36. Religion. Your God isn't yours. Your ancestors were affected by missionaries or exploited by some monotheistic group. Story 37. Churches are places where God is worshipped with money. The more you donate, the more you give to God, and the safer you feel. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.